The recording started and I'm like not even in Belush or whatever it is. Yeah, that's the name of the land. Hold on, I'll be right back. Why did it just log me out? I was literally going in. Ugh. Be right back again. Oh, hey kids, it's me, Fleming Pooh. And today I have some really fascinating and monumental news to share with you. So today's video is not even really a conspiracy theory. I truly think that this will most likely happen in the future, and I was right about Belush, so at least you know I may just be right about this theory. But this video will be very interesting to those of you who care a lot about Animal Jam lore, and I highly recommend you stick around. Let's dive on in. So, first off, we all remember the solar eclipse in Animal Jam. Remember everybody told you not to look at this sun because of how strong it was during an eclipse? This strong light shined right over the broken Zios statue in Temple of Zios. Later on, we learned that the light caused the statue to awaken as Zios. This is monumental, since Zios has not been seen like this in the history of all Animal Jam. We almost assumed for him to be dead, but he wasn't, because later on a staircase led below this statue, showing the new and gorgeous Forgotten Archive. The signs in the Forgotten Archive showcase some very intriguing information. This quote was actually written by Zios, proving that Zios closed off his underground lair until the next solar eclipse. But why would Zios want to seal off the history of Jamaa? Let's dig deeper. This quote describes how the ancient lines of power that flow throughout Jamaa can be used for good, but they can also be drawn upon for a darker purpose, from the natural wonders of Jamaa, whatever that is. Okay, so the lines of power began appearing around Jamaa soon after the discovery of the Forgotten Archive, kind of just casually zooming around Jamaa, and it was actually really interesting to see, in my opinion. Now, this is where things get really interesting. While I was searching for that panda image I just showed you, I titled my search, Jamaa Lines of Power, and look what popped up. Notice anything about this image? It's actually taken from Greely's hideout den, which was literally made years ago, if I can recall. You might have already known about this, but I didn't. Anyways, Greely's hideout den has the ancient lines of power in it. OMG. This is when you know that AGHQ actually does care about and pays attention to Animal Jam lore. They had been planning out all this for years. Anyways, this is also depicted along the wall right inside of the Forgotten Archive. Okay, so at this point we all know that the Forgotten Archive holds 3 adventures. The second adventure, called The Mystery Below, showcases an underground ancient city that has never before been seen in Animal Jam. It is described as an ancient city that is highly technologically advanced, but all of those advancements were forgotten about until the eclipse. You can even see lines of, well actually I know I just said until the eclipse, but really until we saw it like after, when, the adventure. You can even see the lines of power streaked across the ancient walls, leading me to assume that this underground city was present during the time when Jamaa's lines of power were in full effect. And that means that this ancient city was built during the time of Zios. If you aren't convinced, the portal to this underground city is housed right below Zios' Forgotten Archive. Remember earlier we talked about how the quotes in the Forgotten Archive described as Zios sealing it off from the world until the next eclipse? I will soon seal this archive from the world. The next time these words are read, the eclipse will have passed, and the next chapter of our story will begin, which is honestly, like, very intriguing, as I said. And also, that's literally from Zios. It says from Zios' journal, so that was handwritten by Zios himself. So now we know why he wanted to seal it off. He wanted to protect Jamaa from the dangers of the technological advancements in this ancient society. But while Zios wanted to protect Jamaa from the dangers of the ancient city, he also wanted to seal Jamaa off from the ancient city because of what was stored inside. The Complete History of Jamaa, Volume IDK, Roman numeral states, a dark shadow is creeping across the land, and I fear this new threat may be more terrible than any Jamaa has ever seen. I think that this dark shadow was the Phantoms. The Phantoms arriving in Jamaa prompted Zios to seal off this ancient city. This plaque in Forgotten Archives wants future generations, which would be us, to see the history in order to learn from their past mistakes. It seems to me that the Phantoms were not always in Jamaa. Admire and Zios created Phantoms maybe an accident that would have been their past mistake, and that is why they sealed off the ancient city maybe? But why would Zios hide the city from the Phantoms? Because of this stone. In the next adventure, The River's Heart, we carried this sacred stone upriver to show the Alphas. We then learned that this stone was actually an ancient heartstone. And what do heartstones contain? You guessed it, new animals. Oh my gosh, I just got logged off. Okay, BRB again! Wow, this is really quite the hassle in my opinion. Okay, where was I before Animal Jam HQ interrupted me by logging me out? The Heartstone that we saw in the river's heart was kept in Animal Jam's newest land, Belush, which is where the Temple of Ancients currently lies. I think that Belush was part of the ancient land that previously existed but had been forgotten about, just like the underground city. The Temple of the Ancients has the same style of architecture if you look at it, and even contains the similar lines of power, just like the underground city, meaning it must have been built around the same time. So if you look around the Temple of Ancients, many of these plaques contain extinct animals, and actually all of them are titled extinct animals, so basically the theme of the Temple of the Ancients is extinct animals. So, hold on, let me look back at my paper. So this is the first time that we've ever seen or heard of extinct animals in all of Animal Jam. In all of Animal Jam's history, but this isn't the only place you see prehistoric pieces in Belush. If you head over to the Ancient Antiquities, you will notice that the furniture is made out of fossils. Fossils are formed when the remains of organisms are left in the mud that later become a rock. So it takes a very long time for these fossils to form. So at this point, Jamaa knows about extinct animals from long, long ago. What comes to mind when you think of extinct animals from long, long ago? Dinosaurs, woolly mammoths, and saber-toothed tigers. When you compile all the evidence, Zios hiding the heartstone of his ancient animals from long ago from the phantoms and disappearing from Jamaa, then Jamaa finding this ancient city that we have no idea how old it is, from which his heartstone was located, and taking it to an ancient land which includes fossils and text about ancient extinct animals. I think we all know what animals the heartstone will contain, and it's only a matter of time before the animals in the heartstone are brought into Jamaa. Hi everyone, so this is literally being recorded like, I don't know, like a week later or something, and Animal Jam just came out with a piece of news. Animal Jam is saying that one of the blocks of stone in this Temple of Ancients has inexplicably cracked and open, and revealing what appears to be an ancient carving of some kind of animal. It doesn't appear to be any animal that's currently living in Jamaa, which obviously feeds the scheming that I've been thinking of. So, experts speculate that I don't know who experts are, that it must be any animal that hasn't lived in Jamaa for many, many years. So, obviously what that means is that this animal is probably extinct, and if you look at it, it has a lot of extinct features. There's like fangs and stuff, and it basically to me looks like a saber-toothed tiger maybe? Dinosaurs, woolly mammoths, and saber-toothed tigers. I don't know, that's what I was kind of thinking about when I first saw it. So basically, now it's almost confirmed that they're going to be extinct animals. I mean, so far, everything in the Temple of Ancients has had extinct animals. Like, everything's about animals that are almost extinct or extinct, so I'm sure that this statue is probably an animal that's extinct. And same with the statue over here, so we are probably going to be getting 2 new extinct animals to come to Animal Jam, which is really cool. So basically, I think that this is probably going to be, I know